Hey there, welcome to LC Yoga. My name is Laura. Today's practice is about cultivating power. So our first part of this two-part series was acceptance, right? Accepting and turning tension, turning challenge into something else. So today we're completing that by turning it into power so that you have the ability to make change in whatever you need to in your life, in your community. So if you're ready, get on your mat and I'll meet you there. We'll begin today in standing at the top of the mat. Feet about hip distance apart, shoulders back. Just start to find the feet. So rock back and forth a little bit. Bend one knee and the other. We're looking for a strong stance. So bend the knees, and as if you're pulling the floor apart with your feet, stand tall. So that engages the legs. Tailbone tucked just slightly. Chest, sternum up toward the sky. Shoulders back, maybe rolling the arms open so the palms face forward. Crown reaches toward the sky, core is engaged. Stand tall in your mountain pose. And here, eyes open, but gazing down slightly. Start to deepen the breath. When we move through acceptance, we can let that tension that the mind has created in the body disperse into the rest of the body and let that charge you. So we're using that today. And just feel it coursing in your veins. Let it make a small smile across your lips, because there is a power within and you know you have it. So harness it, use it. Deep breaths. Legs are still engaged, almost as if you're pulling that floor apart. Continuously getting tall, grounding into the feet while the crown reaches up toward the sky. And let the hands come into prayer in front of the heart. Bow the head slightly, thumbs to the third eye. Third eye looks within, guides us. It is, as my teacher Ian Finn says, the wise guide inside. That's who we're communicating with today. That's who will guide us. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, let the hands fall back to the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Now here in forward fold, knees can be bent. Hands to the floor, the feet, maybe the shins. Just drape the torso over the legs and bend the knees as much as you need to make that happen. You can grab opposite elbows here if you like. Deep breaths into the back body. And on your next inhale, come about halfway up, fingertips to the floor or the feet. And exhale, step the left foot back into the lunge and lower the knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Clasp all the fingers except the pointer fingers. And use that mudra to pull the chest through the shoulders. Left hip is pressing forward. Arch back if that feels good, or come up a little if not. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, let the hands come around and frame the front foot and step back into downward dog. And downward dog again, knees can be bent here, we're just getting started. Pedal the feet, bending one knee and then the other. And on your next inhale, reach the right leg up toward the sky. Exhaling, step it forward in between the hands. Knee stays off the earth this time. Inhale, reach the chest forward. And as you exhale, begin to straighten the leg, pulling the hip back toward the back of the mat. Pyramid pose. Inhale, reach the heart forward, bending into the front knee. Exhaling, pull it back. This time, step to the front of the mat. As you inhale, reach the crown of the head forward. And exhaling, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, up high, arms reach up. And exhaling, bring the hands back to the heart. Close the eyes. Feel the energy that you created coursing through your body to all corners, all limbs. And let that charge you. Deep breath in. Exhaling the hands down to the sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. And exhaling, fold it in, fold forward. Inhale, reach the crown forward with a long spine. And as you exhale, step the right foot back into a lunge this time, knee lowers down. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Clasp the fingers, this time reversing the front pinky. Pointer fingers up to the sky, chest presses through the shoulders, press the right hip forward this time. Arch back if it feels good. Breathe into the front body. Long, deep breaths. Inhaling, and as you exhale, release and come forward, frame the front foot. Step back into downward dog. Breathing in downward dog, 3 deep, long breaths. And on the last breath, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out through an open mouth, stick out your tongue. Lion breath. Inhale, reach the left foot up toward the sky. And exhale, step it forward between the hands. Inhale, chest reaches forward, drop the hips. Exhaling, pull the hips back, work towards straightening the leg and bow. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhaling, pull it back. Next, inhale, step to the front of the mat, long spine, and exhaling, bow. Inhale, arms out to the side and reach up, palms together, exhaling, back to center. Close the eyes. On your next inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up into a chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold it in, Uttanasana. Inhale, long spine, crown reaches forward. Step back with the left foot this time. Knee stays off the earth and come up into a high lunge. Interlace the fingers except for that index finger and reach high. Chest presses through the shoulders. Left hip pressing forward. Arch back a little. Now bring the hands in prayer in front of the heart. Turn the left foot down and to the side. So now you're in a warrior stance. Thighs reaching away from each other. You may need to adjust the back foot closer or further away. Inhale it into a warrior two. Gazing down and past your middle finger. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Legs powerful beneath you, holding you up, while the crown of the head reaches up toward the sky. Now inhale it into a reverse or peaceful warrior. Left hand down the left thigh, side bend to the left. Look up. If the front leg ever needs a break, feel free to just straighten and rebend. Come back into warrior two. Straighten that front knee, and now we'll come into triangle. So tip the pelvis toward the front of the mat. Reach the right arm forward and down. Bring the hand to the shin, the foot, or the floor. But roll your left hip open. So the torso and that hip turning up toward the sky, and reach your left arm up. Triangle pose. Torso should be long and flat, not rounded. Breathe into the underside of right leg. Now rebend into that right knee and come back into warrior two. Interlace the hands behind the back and pull the shoulder blades onto the back. Inhale that chest up to the sky. And then start to fold forward into humble warrior. So the chest is coming next to the front leg and the arms go up and overhead. Breathe into right hip. Inhale, come on back up. Warrior two one more time. Come over the front leg, fingertips to the earth, and step to the front of the mat. Inhale, long spine, reach the crown forward. And exhaling, bow. Inhale, sweep the arms up high, up to the sky. And exhale it back to center. Close the eyes. Feel the energy circulating. Now inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhaling, bow forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhaling your right foot back into a lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers except the index finger. Reversing the front pinky. Press the chest up toward the sky. Right hip forward. Deep, even breaths. Inhales and exhales, same length. Deep breath in And as you exhale, open it up into warrior two. So bring the right heel to the floor, arms out into a T shape. Adjusting the back foot if needed, thighs reach away from each other. Powerfully gaze over that middle finger in front. Bring your attention to your pelvis. Don't let the butt stick out, but keep the tailbone slightly curled under. Powerful legs. Inhale it into a reverse warrior. Right hand down this time, left arm up. Straighten and rebend if needed. Come back into warrior two. This time straighten or mostly straighten. Start to tilt the pelvis toward the front of the mat. Reaching forward, left arm, left hand down. Right arm up. And we're turning the pelvis and the torso up toward the sky. Look up at that right thumb. Find the hand position that works for you where you feel a nice stretch, but you still have a flat torso. No rounding. Bend into the front knee and come back into warrior two. Interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, chest up. Exhaling, fold forward toward your left leg. Arms overhead. Stretching into left hip. Inhale it, come on back up, come back into warrior two one more time. Hands down over the front foot and step back into down dog this time. Now here in downward dog, we'll do a bit of a heart chakra pose or anahadasana. So step the feet back a little bit so the heels are up. Grip the mat with your finger pads and start to arch into the spine by pressing the forehead down toward the earth. So the torso is kind of a ski jump. Tip the sit bones up toward the sky. Chest presses through the shoulders. Gripping the mat. If your hands are starting to slide forward, grip harder. And inhale it back to a regular downward dog. Now lower the knees to the earth and come through into a seated position. Right leg out, left leg is bent, and your left foot is next to the inside of the right thigh. Janu. So press the right heel into the earth, bend the knee, and then scoot the right hip back and away from the foot. Inhale into a long spine. So you can grab the foot, the shin, or just leave the hands on the sides of the leg. Long flat spine and start to tilt forward. If you're able to grab the outside of the right foot, that's one of my favorite ways to do this pose because you get a nice stretch in the left side of the lower back, side waist. The object here is not to get the nose on the shin, but the top of the head toward the toes. So you're going that way. Hips are going back, head is going forward. And once you get that, that completely changes your forward folds. On your next inhale, walk the hands back up. And from here, make the angle wider. So the knee comes a little bit more toward the left. And we're going to sweep it up into a stargazer pose. So we're going to come up on the knee. So place your left hand behind you, sweeping the hips up. Right arm goes with it, up and overhead. A little bit of a back bend. Oh, there's a lot of wahoo in this pose, so give me a wahoo, maybe a shaka. And come on back down, and let's take that to the other side. Left foot out, right foot in. Knee is bent, plant the heel, inhale, get long, pull the left hip back and tilt it forward. Find your hand position. Crown of the head toward the toes, and breathe. Your next inhale, come on back up. Same thing this side, so knee comes a little bit further out toward the right, right hand behind. Sweep the hips up, left arm goes with it, up and overhead. Don't forget the wahoo. Reaching overhead, nice back bend, and bring it down. Now roll down onto the back, bring the knees into the chest, and give them a nice squeeze. Now let's massage the lower back. So start to roll the hips and roll the knees in one direction, round and round. Coming as far over as it feels good. Let the knees come apart, hold on to the knees. And then take it in the other direction. Bring the knees back to center. Reach the feet up toward the sky. And you can hold the backs of the knees, the calves, or the toes. Start with the knees bent. And then as you press the heels up and the knees start to straighten, only go to where you can still have your elbows bent. So you can use the strength of the biceps to kind of pull toward the back of the mat. And release. We'll do a couple of twists and then into final relaxation. So from here, bring the knees up toward the chest and let them drop to the left. Knees can stay stacked if that's enough, reaching the right arm out to the right. If you're not feeling much of a stretch in the side waist or the hip, you may want to wrap the legs, right leg over the left, and let the knees fall. You want both shoulders on the ground. So press the left shoulder into the ground so the right one comes down. If that's not working, you may need something under your knees to help with that. Now on your next inhale, bring the knees up to center and take that same twist on the other side. So either with knees stacked or wrapped. And this time we're looking to the left, so we're pressing the right shoulder into the ground. Now, knees can be floating as long as it's not causing any strain in the lower back. On your next inhale, unwrap if you wrapped. Come on back to center. Straighten the legs out in front of you about the width of the mat. Let the feet flop open, hands flop open. Become comfortable. Close the eyes in Shavasana. Now here in Shavasana, we have only one objective, and that is to let the muscles relax. The energy that we created and dispersed throughout the body, all that power and strength, it'll be there when we get up. So right now, let it all go and release into the earth. Now, when you're ready, begin to bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. Bring the hands to the upper thighs, maybe the knees knocked together. Draw the knees into the chest, give them a little squeeze. And then roll on up to sit. Come into a simple cross-legged position or half lotus, whatever feels good. Sit bones out behind you so the spine can sit long. Maybe sit up on something to help that happen. Bring the backs of the hands to the knees and close the eyes. Notice how you feel. Bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. As we learned in our last practice, acceptance is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It does not mean giving in or giving up. It means accepting what you cannot change, or accepting that there is something that you want to change, but that pure tension won't make that change. And so we accept it and let it disperse and dissipate. And as it moves throughout the body, that energy becomes something else and it charges us like a battery, right? And we become Powerful. So feel that now as it circulates. Let it become what you need it to be so that you can make change. Deep breath in through the nose and let it out through an open mouth. Let something go. And we'll close with some 3-part breathing. So bring the hands to the ribs. And we're going to, don't do it yet, but we're going to breathe to a 3 count into the lower ribs and the belly. And then we're going to breathe into the chest and the shoulders, all with 1 breath. So take a breath in and let it out. Inhale into the belly and the lower ribs. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Inhale into the chest. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Into the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, and hold. And let it all out through an open mouth. Let the hands come back to the knees, palms up. Hands in prayer in front of the heart. You are powerful. Go out in the world and use it for good. Namaste and aloha.